like the Ministry of Education have hired an army of minibuses to take these little children to the building site at Coffee. Okay, we're approaching the stadium. It's April. You can hardly see the flag. The reason for this is that every year we get the May-June rains, which have sort of started in April, right? The April, May, June rains. Let's pull in here. And wind down a little bit. With El Nino, we had a prolonged dry spell. There's a bit of a drought, and now the rains have come back. And when they come back, naturally you go into the La Nina cycle, and the rains come in full force, as is evident here. Now, what concerns me at the moment, apart from not knowing how much money this is all costing us still, and according to the Code of Architects and Engineers, I was told, there's supposed to be a project board at the front of this this facility telling us exactly how much it's going to cost and the estimated duration of the project. It's sort of like basic respect that you could give taxpayers. So I'm here back on the Durban Park development project. It's in full swing, and we're here on a day when we've just had some April showers. I don't know if the goats came in here to check out the scene, see where they're going to be sitting for the Jubilee celebrations, or maybe came to check if there was any grass. But there's no grass here anymore. So we're in what will be occupied space, or supposed to be some occupied space, in just over a month from now. They need to have car parks for all these people, or parking rather. This stadium is supposed to be able to house about 30,000 people. Let's see if I can get over some of these tracks. The wooden stadium, or the golden slapdash stadium as I've been calling it to myself personally, is supposed to have about 30,000 people capacity. And there we go, struggling goat. Let's go a bit further, see if we can get a long shot. So I know Bobby Vera doesn't want anyone on public property apparently, but if the goats can get on here, I don't see why I am not allowed. What people do in a normal country, instead of celebrating 50 years, there you go. I'm going the other side. I'm going the other side. What, filming? It's public property. It's public property. It's public property. Who don't want pictures? The foremen, they don't want pictures? So I'll go on the other side and take pictures. Yeah, where are the foremen? By the container? I'll go talk to him. Alright, thank you. So that guy was sent to tell me no picture taking. He's not actually doing work around here, but all of a sudden it seems they don't want any public scrutiny on site. So I'm going to try and make my way to the container where the this way, the other way around. Okay, so the guy showed me I should go the other way around. I know I'm supposed to go the other way around, but it's public property. And they were very interested in showcasing it before anybody said it was a disaster going on. And they're not really interested in showcasing it to the public. No, all the workers are coming to me telling me I can't film. Hi, good morning. How are you?
Yeah, but you cannot go up on the side doing that, but you have permission for that.
Oh, it's public property, so I figured I was entitled to film as it's public property. Is it not public property?
No.
I'm allowed to film from outside. Yeah, I could film from here. Huh? That's fine. I could film from here.
Buddy, please, you cannot film on the site, buddy. Please,
I'm not on the site. I'm on a government reserve.
No, you cannot film.
Under whose instruction?
Huh?
Who's the supervisor here?
I'm the supervisor here.
You're the supervisor?
Yeah.
And do you know the law as pertains to being able to film outside? Do you know the law as pertains to filming in public space?
Yeah, but what I'm trying to see, filming public space, yes.
You're not, unless you get the police, and the police themselves, I've set a precedent. I'm filming for a channel here called Real Guyana. We've already set a precedent. If you look in the papers, where the police took away my equipment and deleted some photos because they said I was not allowed to film in public, and they had to issue an apology.
Yeah, but what I'm
right? So I am allowed to film. This taxpayers' money going up. If you want to give me an interview on what's going on here,
I'm not into that, no boy. All I'm trying to say, you can either go into the property and you film any place, no boy.
I can't go onto the property.
Right?
That is fine. I'm not on the property now. I'm on Hatfield Street, on the government reserve of Hatfield Street. And you guys weren't so interested before anybody started saying it was slapdash work. Nobody was interested in me coming here to film. So that guy is this supervisor supposedly for the site. And I'm going to continue filming because it's public property. They sent a whole vehicle and a man down to make me stop filming. I'm going to go a little closer as well. So, as I was saying before distraction, the problem with this is it's going to be very difficult to finish all of this for the 30th or the 29th or whenever the celebrations are due. It's going to be muddy and it's going to be wet and mucky. It looks pretty horrible at the moment. And I don't know how we could look at this and say we're celebrating 50 years of anything, if not slapdash work. On this site, we're bringing people from the US, from the UK, from all the islands, where they have a better idea of what constitutes quality work. And this could never be considered quality work. I mean, it's very rushed. I give kudos to the administration. It's good that they're doing some drainage works here on Hatfield Street, but unfortunately the project was just not very well thought through. Here we go, you got personal waterfall going on here. Right? The project was not well thought out, and that's kind of unfortunate. These stands are not going to be built to any sufficient quality. I've seen people here with hammers and chisels. Hammers and chisels in this day and age. And that sort of explains the shoddy work that I showed you in the previous visit. So all here is really supposed to be parking. And you look and judge for yourself if you think all of this is going to be pristine and ready for action within the next month. I was told by the supervisor I'm not allowed to film anything basically on the property or on the street. So I'm not allowed to film anything anywhere on this property. So I'm just getting close enough to get a good look and see what's going on. Walk the length of Hatfield Street with my muddy shoes and see what's going on. We got some nice fancy cars in there, but I don't know if those guys really been supervising the works. I wonder if that's Bobby Vera getting into his car. Nice jacket that fellow has on there. So what you do in a normal country right? Or if you had a birthday party, a 50th birthday party, and for 50 years of your life, you were abused, just like Guyana has been abused. Let's have a look at some of that concrete. Alright? So, for 50 years you were abused and being robbed by successive leaders, by successive generations of politicians. Alright? What would you do? Would you build a new house for your birthday party? Or refurbish one? So what could have happened here? We have an education system that's literally failing our youth. We have a healthcare system that's failing our population. All of this money could be plugged into those things, and nobody would have to be chasing me with a big truck to tell me I can't film on public property. And it seems the supervisor may have just called, I don't know, the police or who, but have a look at the quality of this work, guys. Okay, normally what they would do is put up screens by the stadium, right? I'm still seeing cracks in some of these poles. They put up screens by the stadium, and that would help people, right? That would help the people that weren't early. If you want to be there inside the already built stadium that already has grass, you get there early. If you don't get there early, like anywhere else in the world, they may set up an alternative viewing location. The reason the stadium was bombarded the last time is because there was very poor security on site. Okay? And Guyanese started poking through the holes in the fence. And yes, there were holes in the fence for people to poke through. So that's why the security was so poor and the ground ended up being flooded with people. But it doesn't mean you have to build an entirely new stadium. And now we're in the rainy season. There will be no grass. There will be a lot of mud. And we still don't know where the money is coming from for all of this stuff. We're told that this is going to cost $300 million. Of that, and I hope the government responds to that, of that I'm told that 250,000 US has come from Hardat Singh, who the government gave that single source $400 million fertilizer contractor, and it's sort of in exchange for the contract he's giving them that money. Now that's an allegation I've heard. I would love some sort of response to it, but we don't know where the money is coming from. And the $300 million that's being expended, that's not money for the stadium, right? That's on the rest of the event. So it's raining, all this wet wood is gonna get another good soaking. And there you go, there's the infrastructure going up for the shelter, which won't be much shelter at all. And when you walk through all this mud and go sit down in those stands with no seat backs, yeah, the person right behind you is gonna have muddy feet. And it's going to be a celebration. So I'm going to be right back here for part 3. Perhaps I need to go around the other side. Have a good day. Oh, check out my shoe. All this concrete has to dry in the damp, in the wet. Alright, I just don't see how they're going to pull off this feat. I don't know, maybe I changed my middle name if this is finished as standard for me, but I doubt it can be. I doubt that's technically possible. I really don't think so. To avoid getting splashed, let me just walk in the corner here, check out more of this grand work. And it is great. It's great that they're refurbishing all of this stuff. It's fantastic. But okay, spend the money on drainage in the city. The city is still not recovered from the neglect under the last administration. And in fact, only Georgetown seems to be the focus of much of the cleanup effort, right? Do you think everyone that comes home for the holidays is going to stay at the Marriott? No, people are going to go back to their local hometown communities, all right? They're going to want to know that their communities are taken care of and not strewn with garbage. You understand? These are things that people are going to want to going to want to see. A stadium doesn't really benefit all of us. And before I go as well, I really want to talk about health and safety, right? It's not a culture in Guyana so much, right? I don't say so much, I say not at all. And I have a few other videos to post to evidence the point. But a building site like this, so close to the road, and their nails just sticking out everywhere. School kids have to pass here. Back towards the front of the slapdash stadium. Alright, taking a look at some of these drains. I was just passing here and like I couldn't believe my eyes. It's like, what is going on here? Is that pebble dash? What is that? So is this how we're laying stuff out now? It's a lot of money. And where the government catches normally, right, is with the gratitude. People are happy that something is going up and they sort of like, you know, shut up and appreciate. That's the sort of ethos we get from our politicians all the time. Oh look, politician, the drain that you built is really crappy and it's like gonna fall to pieces in a year. Ah, shut up and be grateful. You didn't have a drain before. That's the sort of ethos that governs Guyana. But this is very slapdash work, and they're gonna fill it in, compact it, as you can see down there with the sand, which, well, I'm not a hydrological expert here or a geological technician, but I do believe that will sink unless it's compacted. And if they're compacting it with that wooden block as we saw the other day, we can't hope for much, can we? So it also seems as they're using strips of wood in some cases to hide some of the cracks. And at least on this visit, at face value, it seems like they've gone ahead and put in more bolts since they started getting scrutiny. But I don't see how this is going to really do the job for hosting 30,000 people in a comfortable, beautiful, or should I say aesthetically pleasing space. The only thing nice about this space is the flag. And if we're willing just to spend all this money to put up a big flag and look at some soldiers march, then all of us need medication, because something is wrong. Something's just wrong with this approach. Let me go to the front and see what I catch there. So I'm here in front of Square of the Revolution. It's just about to start raining. Well, so I'll take you on a quick tour. Because what they've done is we're gonna have a procession coming down Brick Dam, which has recently been resurfaced. It's gonna come all the way down Brick Dam, and then they plan for all the parades and floats, I guess, to enter Durban Park, perhaps through that entrance, past the 1763 monument. So I don't know if they're planning them going past Coffee or through that big entrance there, but I would hope it's the big entrance. But this is one of the centerpieces here, Coffee. You just have a look at the condition of this. You judge it against international standards, because they're obviously building a stadium, so they know about international standards, right? Alright, this was turned on after they regained office, after the coalition gained office. It's promptly turned off again. Maintenance issues, provision of services. These benches are like donkeys years old. They need replacing with proper benches, okay? These guys, just like the ones before them, instead of looking at what is there and trying to fix it, we already have problems. If they're looking to spend money, if you need somewhere to spend money, President Granger, I can spend every day showing you places you could spend money that exist, that didn't need to be created. We could have done this entire project for very, very little money and had money to maintain our public spaces such as this, which is a national monument. The monument we started crowning with this stadium, and look at the condition that it's in. Mind you, this facility, this horribly ugly facility here was built by the PPP, right? It is just atrocious for millions of dollars. But look at this. What is this? Somebody's backyard? No. Not even the president's yard has plants like this in buckets. And that's the guard tower. Alright, so these are the facilities that we're providing for normal people, okay? We don't need to be spending hundreds of millions of dollars. And I tell you what, it is not even open. The struggle is so real. Alright, so I mean, what kind of quality are you expecting from this? That's all I have to say. When the government gets something, it needs to be top notch. For us, any old slapdash will do, and it will keep doing until we do away with it. That is all. And this is how Duncan Street looks for the 50th. And here we are on the 29th of April. So these are the boxes that they use to encase, like the molding boxes, right? To encase all of this concrete work. And just have a look at how it's been done. Okay, so I mean, you can't even say that Francis they didn't do it at the right level, like, or you know, this is the level they were supposed to do it at. It looks like a mountain range, right? You don't know what's going on there. Okay, we're back. Today is the 6th of May. So I've come back today to have a look at the works down here at the stadium. They've been putting up a roof, and I want to come and have a look, see how it's going. This is actually the stand, or one of the stands, one of the 27 I'm sitting in here. Having a look at where the celebration will be, trying to get a feel for what it'll be like. They have less than 2 weeks to finish this entire site, and we were promised that it would be done up to international standards. And right now I'm telling you, I don't see how that is humanly possible. I came here actually expecting to see the X-Men or the Avengers, because this is a job for the Avengers or the Power Rangers, goodness knows. But I don't think mere mortals are gonna finish this to a satisfactory standard in that amount of time, and we really didn't need it. I drive through Georgetown, I drive through the city, make 2 left turns off any main road and see some of the houses in this town and the pile of scrap wood that they have at the back there. I just look at that and think of how many houses it could have repaired. I look at it and think of the fact it should have been put in the Stabrook Market. The back of Stabrook Market has collapsed. It collapsed over a year ago. Bits of it fell into the water. The zinc is hanging. There are big holes in it, in a national treasure, and it has not been patched. Not one piece of wood has been sent there to patch it up. It looks like a disaster zone, okay? There's a crack then at the back there. And we're spending $300 million down here. We got hospitals where people go in. I got a friend had Zika, went to the hospital and had no medication and had no testing kit, nothing, right? Said to go home. So you had to go home with a rash, okay? We have real problems that need money that doesn't include this place. So you can see they've come back through, and it looks like they came to do some fixing, right, since I was here last. Oh my god, what's this? I don't know what this is, right? Maybe this is one of the remaining bits of wood that they haven't fixed. Still seeing evidence of using 2 bolts instead of 3. In many of the areas. See, a car has just stopped there. Hopefully they come to talk to me. Check this out. Ta-da! Alright, put that back. Let's leave that. So I don't know, I guess maybe that is reinforcement. And here's the other thing I can't understand. When the battery died, actually I was going to show you where you're going to be sitting if you don't get here early. These are going to be your seats. Your bamsey is going to be wet, right? For a dry bamsey, you need to get here early and sit up there. There's some new wood that's been put in, you see. They've taken out the old one. There you go. Right? Took out the old wood, put in some new wood. This wood looks good. But what happened to the old wood? The one that we scrapped now? Just waste on top of waste on top of more waste, and it really does not make sense. And as I told you in the first video, right, whenever the government are building something for us, it has to be the most slapdash low quality product money can buy, or a business can donate. We're gonna get to that in a second. And when they build something for themselves, this is just a tiny pile of scrap wood, right? But when they build something for themselves, it has to be of top quality, right? Look what they're building for themselves. They give us this they give us this joke of a wooden stadium, right, with a forest of trees included, that was supposed to be temporary, that they're now saying is permanent, since people started complaining that they're wasting all this wood. But then it's temporary and permanent, and some of the wood, some of these stands are going to be taken to other regions. I just really don't understand that. To this moment, this looks nothing. It looks nothing like the stadium being advertised in the pictures. Those renders, the artist impressions that we've been given in the newspapers, especially in the recent article that's published saying the government gave full details on the park. As someone that does that kind of work, I can look at that and tell you that person downloaded that model from the internet somewhere and they spent all of an hour. That's lazy work that you would not submit to anyone, but it's a national project. I mean, I won't even go into whether the job was put out to tender. But here we are at the VIP booth. Have a look at this. This is on the construction at the moment. They make sure that they sort it out in green. I see some nice framing going up in there. So this is where the president and his friends and all the ministers at whose salaries you just, you know, increase by up to 50% to millions of dollars a year. Parliamentarians cost us over $700 million a year, I'm told. And they are going to be in these nice stands here, to the best of my knowledge. Morning.
Hey, morning. What's up, Lee?
I'm alright. Yeah, man. Just come to take in the sights, see what's going on at the Jubilee. See where they put in the VIP people compared to where they put in the rest of us on these stands down here, and seeing if it makes sense that we spend all this money here on a wooden stadium when we have something with the same capacity in Providence. It would have made sense to make this into a nice park, but this is a waste of money. Wasting and without conscience. This is a waste of money. Without a conscience.
I disagree with that.
You disagree? Please expand.
No,
What?
I'm not gonna talk.
You ain't gotta talk to me. But what's your point? Why do you disagree?
I say no more.
This would have been great as a park. You tell me how this space will be used constructively afterwards.
I am saying.
Well, you're not having a proper and intelligent debate then. You
Alright,
just
okay.
want to state your point. There we go. More slapdash. Right. Have a look at this. And that gentleman there, he disagrees that this shouldn't have been converted into a wooden stadium. But he can't tell me why, right? And that's normally the line that people that just blindly support a party, they give you. They're like, oh, I heard that from so many PPP supporters. Yeah, what the PPP doing is great. Oh, $4 billion missing. I don't mind, it's great, it's the PPP. Why do you believe that? Oh, well, they don't have anything to say, because most often no thought has been put into what they're telling you, right? There's a rainbow. It's kind of ironic because I'm still looking for the pot of gold here. With all this brown, it's looking more like a potter. Yeah, so here we go. You just come off of this work site. This is going to be the tarmac that it looks like they're respreading. This is going to be the tarmac where the army come to march and play music. And we just spent $300 million to build a tarmac for the army to come and march and play music. Here it seems like they've got some new deliveries of wood, and I can see bits where they've been replacing wood on the actual superstructure. There's a machine there, a truck, and there have been just hundreds of trucks back and forth up and down the highway delivering sand, loam, bricks, all sorts of equipment and materials. All this you gotta clean up in a couple of weeks. Look at all this wasted wood. And tell me, who is getting the contracts for all this cement and all of this material and provision of services? We are still unclear about that. And the thing that really boggles my mind is just a few days ago, in this full disclosure report, we are told that they can't really tell us where all the donations came from. Like, they can't break down the donations for us because the donations were made to a company registered outside of the ministry. Right? Take a minute and let that sink in and try and remember why it sounds familiar. It might sound familiar because that is exactly what the PPP did with the Marriott Hotel. They created like a shell company, Atlantic Hotels Incorporated, and they used that to funnel taxpayer money and donations and whatever from the public-private partnership to build our hotel. And that ended up costing us $12 billion, the taxpayer. We will never recover that money. It's gone, right? Think of what $12 billion could have done. Think of the kind of university that $12 billion could have built. Think of what $300 million could have done for our university right now, which does not have a single bleacher. It doesn't have one, not even one. not even one of these stands at our university, right, that doesn't have a proper sporting field. Not one. But we are building this this structure, this white elephant here. It's not even a white elephant, there's a brown elephant, right? But the president and his men seem to have set up a shell company, and they can't even tell us who the head of this shell company is that's been receiving donations from the private sector, right? They can't. Are we in the mafia? Is this it must be the mafia, right? I think I see Mario Puzo over down there, but I don't understand how this is acceptable. It is unacceptable. And it's not a matter of just government bashing. It's unacceptable from anybody, right? This is just waste. This is waste. This is wanton waste and disregard for the public coffers, right? There's no other way to put it. If you have a good rebuttal to this argument, please leave it in the comments and let's have a debate on it. But how much more of this can we take? 50 more years of this? I don't know. It'll kill us. This is why people beat out, leave Guyana, because the type of waste that you see, it just makes you feel hopeless. It's good that they put something on this ground, or rather they wanted to do something with it, but it would have been much better off as a green space, as a park. They would have had to spend less money, and they would have had more funds available to them to fix other crucial parts of the city, other landmark areas. Because when people come to Guyana, they're not going to spend all of their time at this stadium. They're going to go to their communities, they're going to go spend time with their families, they're going to go visit landmarks that they knew when they were young and they want to go visit again. Then nobody is going to spend more than a few hours here. Why are you spending $200 million on it? Spend that money on the city where people are going to be going around exploring, trying to reconnect with the Guyana that they once knew. A cleaner Guyana that many people will be disappointed to come home and find has completely vanished. A few hints of it have been popping up, but I'm sad to say what Guyana evidences is a mentality. Even when they clean, they just don't do it properly. We seem to have lost the ability to do things properly, to complete a job fully. You can get accustomed to anything, even really filthy, intolerable conditions. Like this. The monument is just over a week before the Jubilee celebrations, where the army goes and marches. And this is commemorating the army. Good morning. We're here again at the Durban Park project site. It is around 6 in the morning. You can hear the traffic passing behind me. And Georgetown is getting ready to go to work, get the day started. And I thought I'd get my day started down here at the project site after having followed it for a number of weeks. Now, since the first video posted on the Real Guyana channel about this Durban Park project, the president made moves, and actually, commendably, he seemed to have kicked whoever was in charge of the project, which I would assume would be Larry London and Bobby Vera. They were dismissed, and Minister Patterson was brought in, Minister of Public Infrastructure, and he was brought in to oversee the completion of the works, and $150 million was allotted to the completion of the works. Right, so Minister Patterson and team moved in, and work began furiously. 15 officers from the GDF were also brought onto the site to assist, though I must be honest, every time I've come down here, the GDF officers have always been in a group, but either linemen or chilling on the stands. I'm sure they did a lot of work, but I was just unfortunate when I came to collect footage. Anytime I came, they were linemen, because I guess they're not builders. So there are still a few issues with this stadium, and I beg you, hear me out and then rebut me. You know, I like rebuttal. the whole point of debate in civil society and this sort of discourse is to come to consensus, so we reach some agreement on the way forward, or what something means for us in the present, like this wooden coliseum. Here are a few of the issues, okay? Now, again, I must reiterate, it is good that something is happening with this space where nothing was happening before. However, if we have 300 odd million, because to complete the works, after 75% of them had been done, they budgeted $150 million. And I mean, at that rate, you're looking at upwards of 450 million if you were to calculate on that assumption. But you're looking at least a $300 million if the 150 million was supposed to cover just the last segment of the works. Now, the government said that a lot of the wood on this stadium, the low quality wood I highlighted in the first video, was from donations, private donations, okay? And in addition, when they released, there was an article in the Chronicle that said, full disclosure, government releases full information on the Durban Park project. When that information was released, we still don't know who the private donors are. We don't know what exactly they donated, and to add insult to injury, we're told that Minister Patterson said that, get this, let me wait for the traffic, a private registered company, so a private company was handling donations, and someone else was in charge of that, but he didn't say who that someone else was. And this sounds remarkably like the Marriott. So imagine having your kid, because actually the government are our employees, right? A reality check. But imagine having your kid in your house and they keep coming home with donations made to them by somebody, or your spouse, they keep coming home with donations made by a private individual that they can't really talk about right now. How would you feel about that, right? If your money is going to buy everything, the bread and the food and the bed, and I mean, how would you feel about that? It feels a bit insulting, and it comes across as shady. I know the Granger administration started business by committing to honesty, transparency, accountability, all the things that sound really, really good, and all the things I would be in full support of. And when those things don't seem to be happening, we need to raise our voices. I for one cannot stay silent on such issues, because I walk around Guyana, I drive around it, and I look at how the working class are living, right? It genuinely concerns me, and I know there are others out there that it genuinely concerns. How are the people at the bottom rung of the ladder doing? How are they accessing healthcare? What kind of education system do they have? No, it's not good enough to go to private institutions because the public institutions are failing. Because I'm coming up with a story on the private institutions soon. You should stay tuned. But let's stay locked onto this stadium for a moment and look at another problem. So number one, no transparency and accountability. We don't know where the money has come from to put this up, where the donations have come from, who the private donors are, what the name of this registered company is, what the deadline for completion of the project is, total estimated project cost, including all this asphalting they're going to have to do down here. First, they initially told us it was going to be a temporary stadium. I see that seems to have been retracted, and now we're told it's going to be a permanent facility, but some of these stands will still be taken to the regions, which in itself seems contradictory. Additionally, what is the capacity of this stadium? Because I'm getting different figures, right? I met up with an engineer that's actually worked on 6 of the stands down here. This is before the government stepped in and kicked people off the site. But he told me he wouldn't put more than 400 or 500 people on one of these stands. In the initial visit I made here, or on the initial visit I made here, one of the workers told me 600 people. And then in the newspapers, I see 700 people per stand, and there are 27 stands here. So let's do some quick calculations. The stadium that the PPP built for 25 million US dollars can seat approximately 15,000 people, and when you count in people standing, that goes up significantly. Let's say around 17,000 people, or even if you want to be very conservative and add another 1,000 or 1,500 people, say about 16,000 people, 500 can fit down there in that stadium, already built, nicer seats than this. This is all the slapdash, right? Nicer seats than this, green verdant grass, which was a problem when the Cricket World Cup commenced. If you remember, it looked all nasty and unfinished like this, and we were all criticizing it. So that stadium has a capacity of, let's say, 16,000 people. If you multiplied the top estimate but given by the government, which I think they've been a bit liberal with the 700 figure, if you multiply 700 by 27, you'll get somewhere in the region of 18,000, right? If you multiply the worker on site's estimate of 600 by 27, you get somewhere in the region of 14,000. I think you'll get around 14,000. I'm gonna put the figure up on screen, and the last figure we'd have to multiply is 450 by 27, which would give us around 12,000 odd seats. But let's say we forget that we have short-term memory loss too often in Guyana. And let's look back at what we were told initially. We were told that this stadium was being built because we didn't have capacity at the other stadium, right? Though now they seem to try to shift the argument towards the traffic, right? But we had a Neo concert there, Mavado, Cartel, John Legend, the Cricket World Cup, Amazon Warriors, CPL finals, all sorts of things. Pagua, right? Nobody seemed to complain too much about the traffic. The traffic is a problem, but we need more access roads, which they could have, they could have spent some money on, because traffic is more than just a stadium issue. It's because we got one link to the West Coast. They could spend some money on fixing that up, right? So we were told this is going to be double the capacity of the first stadium that we have. It is not anywhere close to double. And a matter of fact, if we were to look at the top figure, the 700 by 27, 18,000 odd, and the bottom figure of 450, which would give us 12,000 odd, it's either this stadium can hold about 3,000 people less than the one we already have, or it can hold about 2,000 people more than the one we already have. Is it worth spending upwards of 150? I can just give you the figure the government gave us, though it's easily double $150 million, right? So is it worth spending in excess of $300 million to seat an extra 2,000 people, or to end up in a situation where we can accommodate 2,000 or 3,000 people less than what we already have? I'm just asking you that on a common sense basis. This is not me coming here to hate on the government, but I hate what the government is doing, right? And as a citizen, I have a right to say that, because they harvest money from us every single day. That chick mint you buy, 16% of that chick mint went into this project. If you think that you don't pay any taxes, there's no way that this affects you, right? All of the money we spend, the taxes they need at the end of the year, it goes into stuff like this. So it's offensive. It's just failed on an aesthetic level. They've provided structural reinforcement for the facility after people started raising. I see they've like doubled up on these boards, and it seems much more sturdy. So that's progress and one victory for civil society, right? Maybe nobody has to fall off of this thing and die because bolts are missing. Ooh, I still see missing bolts. You kidding me? Oh, we go down there in a second. But it seems maybe, I don't know why there's these deep holes, but there's nothing in them. But I'm sure Minister Patterson has come here and verified that maybe you need 2 bolts per proper piece of plank or something like this. I don't know, maybe they've come and verified all this stuff already, but have a look. Giving you a full walking tour, you see. And the problem in Guyana, we give each other slapdash and then we dash a flag on it, right? We just dash a flag on it and say, hey guys, right? You're being anti-patriotic, you're being anti-government. If you don't support this, PPP used to do it as well. Make any old crap and just dash a flag on it. There we go, a local rice eater. So, I mean, as if the sand and mud wasn't enough to worry about when you get here. You gotta worry about rovers, fleas and ticks. They love a nice wet environment. Well, we have different forms of rice eating in Guyana. There's the rice terrace, the normal one that you may find on the road, and the rice terrace corridor, or the scaredy one. Morning. Dog, you running like I coming after you for the names of the private investors. Okay, you know where I'm heading. I'm heading to the VIP because it's probably the closest you and I ever gonna get to it. Doesn't it look nice? There's storage under the stage, or maybe that's where the buffet will be, I'm guessing. Right, and the dignitaries and honorable people get to sit on the full shade and shelter from the rain and elements. This is no doubt the stage. Looks a bit strange for a stage, or maybe more dignitaries sit here, but there seems to be a banister on the stage. Something I don't quite understand. I just don't get it if this is the stage. I'm telling you that as a musician and a performer. The whole balcony thing, I don't know. Let's go take a look. So all of this, they've got a couple weeks to finish. No doubt they got some nice tiling here, but look, more slapdash. You just never have to look very far for some slapdash here, I'm sorry to say. I mean, and I'm coming here in full confidence that they're definitely gonna fix all of this in 2 weeks, right? I've held off making comment for some time before coming back here. Let me go a bit further back so you can see what they see from the VIP, because you're not going to be able to afford this, right? Even this is tiered. Maybe this is just another dignitary section. It just doesn't seem like a stage, and I thought it was going to be a stage, in all honesty. Maybe the stage is the middle of the tarmac. This is the view. Look to the left and you have your fellow comrades. Look to the right, maybe you have your haters if the opposition have to show up in parliament. And you look out there and you see all your loyal subjects happy for a stadium. Your grand vision realized in stone and concrete and wood. It's gonna feel great. Look at that. Roof, I guess this is the entry. Nice vaulted roof there. And this is what's going on. Even this asphalt here is not level, right? Water collecting. Why are we in the business of building bird baths? So once water starts to pool at a facility, you know it's only a matter of time before the integrity of whatever structure it is compromised. Alright? It's just not level work, and it's all very rushed. Down here you see another one of the VIP rooms. Filled with water. It's already waterlogged, and before any of this is dry, all under there they just got electrical wiring and stuff going in. But before any of this stuff is dried properly, look at this. What's going on here? Before it's dried properly, they're gonna paint it, right? And it's gonna look finished, I guess. It's gonna look sorta done, but it could never look proper. See what's going on there? A kid is playing, right? He's playing because this could have been a park. And I think that would have been a great idea. That's what people seem to want. That's definitely what I envision for this space, and still think would be an awesome idea. But I don't know how we would ever get there, because as far as I can tell, green use of this space would say to me that you're really thinking about the people instead of yourself or political legacy, you know, which would be just like the last guys. Nothing different from before. Seems a lot of this wood was reinforced incorrectly in the first place. Since the first video made, you can see a huge difference. It seems like every single one of these things had to be shifted in position. They've taken off the straps that were here originally. They'll probably use a lower quality wood, and this structure is more secure now. No doubt people are gonna tell me it's strong enough, right? But I don't know. It's all held in place at the top. It's just the bottom of it looks a bit weak, and this as well, a hole gone straight through here. I mean, is it advisable? I don't know. And now I understand why they've I see what's happened. So they've gone and they've plugged these holes. All of them are hollow, or most of them. They've plugged a lot of these holes with other bits of wood, but some of them are actually just hollow all the way through. They always set themselves up with the nicest part of the pie. Always. Doesn't matter if they just got into office, if they were there for 20-something years or 30-something years, they always set themselves up with the nicest part of the pie and leave the other bit for you and I. One more thing is, as we find ourselves here on Hatfield Street, an area which was once prone to flooding, which at this very moment would have probably been under a couple of inches of water after this rain, which has been alleviated by this drain that has been dug here, right? But what I want you to look at, and again, we often get tied up in whether or not something should have been done in the first place, rather than looking at the quality of what has been done. They dug a drain, and in the haste to complete everything for the Jubilee, right, rather than take our time, look at the quality of works here. And now I know what happened to a lot of that crappy timber. It was just thrown away. These are some of the piles. Those are some of the piles of the split piles that were in the first video, and some of the support planks that they've ripped out and just literally chucked away. Just look at all of that scrap wood. And this is the car park. This weekend, roughly. So you got a lot more work to finish off. Electrical work to close off. Ah, so this would be like the VIP kitchen down here.
Yeah.
The VIP kitchen. So the Jubilee. And what's this room here? This is the electrical room. Hi, how you doing? Is the electrical room or over here? Electrical room. This is the electrical paneling room. Still a bit to do, but we got a couple days, maybe 4 days until the actual Jubilee celebrations commence, and these guys are hard at work down here, twisting and binding wire. Let me catch a little shot of them. So what date is it today? 24th? So it's within 4 days y'all gonna finish all this?
No, it's not there today.
What?
Yeah, seriously.
You closing here today?
Yeah, right now what we doing? It's fine work. We just finishing off, make sure everybody come on, the lights and so on.
Yeah.
We just putting on everybody.
So you're just doing fine work today?
Yeah.
So over this room, they're not gonna tile in here or finish it? This finish
Yeah, no. When we come out here tomorrow, they come in and...
So tomorrow they're gonna come and think. So all the electrical work has to finish today then?
Yeah.
All right,
Everybody
great.
have finished today.
And come back and check. If I get shocked, I know for look for. Huh? Oh, all right. This is sort of the VIP kitchen. Gosh, guys, look at this. It's the VIP kitchen. And we're told that this is the day of completion for all the works. As you can see here, the fire engine is now taken down. It's extendable ladder, and the fireman is having a nice juice. Never mind, they couldn't save gaffurs, right? We have one fire engine with a ladder at gaffur. So what kind of ceiling you putting on here? You know what kind of ceiling they putting on here? No? How old are you? Yeah. 18. 18? You working here long? You from the beginning?
Yeah.
Yeah? Alright, how you think it going? How you think it going?
Good.
Yeah?
Good so far.
Alright, you think you're gonna finish in time?
So I'm so finished today.
You're supposed to finish today. This is the last day of construction. But they want it done, the work finish every single day? But they wanted all the work finished for half day yesterday? That's not possible. And all this y'all gotta do. Because originally they promised that you're gonna finish on the 12th.
Yeah.
On the 12th of May. They tell you that as well, right? Yeah, but they can't finish for them. Alright, I'm gonna check around the rest of the site. Thanks. See, even the workers find it laughable when they want to finish. It's just impossible that this can be finished in time. It's supposed to be the 12th of May that this finished. We're now on the 25th of May. Hi, good afternoon. It's going to be the VIP room? Yeah. So you're putting the linoleum down. This is going to be the VIP linoleum? My God. A plastic as you can get. So no tiles in here. Just got all the linoleum. Just do the holes. Even my grandmother wouldn't put this in.
So we're taking the days in course, this one there.
I am judging this side for
With the electricity.
Some of the cables are coming from. Where you want me to show them with the electricity?
No, we ain't got none yet.
But I see light in the ceiling, how you mean?
What you doing?
Oh, you ain't got proper electricity yet?
No.
Alright. Alright, well this is it. This is the VIP experience. And I think that does it. Couple ACs in here. And let's head out the old side. So they've done this same poor quality cement work right around the perimeter and all of the drains. And the attempt has been to sort of fix the top, right? But look at how patchy it is. And you just know this is going to start breaking down just now. It's already deteriorated. And this is right around the entire perimeter. We're going to check out the VIP toilets down here. There you go, very posh. God. Hi, good afternoon.
Yeah.
You finishing up work in here?
Yeah.
I was told you guys are gonna be finished today. Is that true?
Yeah.
It's the VIP washrooms down here. Far cry from what everybody else will be getting. And whilst I may not agree with the choice of ceiling material, you can see they spent a good deal more time thinking of a provision of service to the members of government that will use this facility. Oh, spoke too soon. Rough work. Rough. Alright, so that's the VIP toilet facility. We have this asphalt here. Still a couple days to go, but you only have to look around to see that they've rushed this job. It's being rushed. We were promised that this entire project would be wrapped up on the 12th of May. It is now the 24th of May, and as you can see, even the electricians and workers inside there are telling me that they're expected to finish at half day today, but that simply is not possible, right? So with all the rushed work, all the asphalt that's been done on wet surfaces and the like, with all of that to consider, it's only a matter of time before spaces like this start cracking and breaking up, because they're done under the wrong conditions in a rushed, haphazard manner. And why spend money twice? It seems like we're addicted to doing that. Finally, it seems people are cleaning up. Coffee. Let me go take a quick look at coffee. And I'll tell you the number one thing that disappoints me through this whole Jubilee celebration. We have expended the most money, time, energies in making sure that Guyana is presentable for the foreigners who return, right? The people who left Guyana. The people that live here, we can't give them with any sort of regularity sanitary environments that are upkept. And as anyone will notice, after the recently concluded local government elections, there was a drastic slowdown in the pace of cleaning, and it seems like they just waited until everyone started appearing in the airport to look busy, as they say, and get active with some works. The real tale for me will be told after these celebrations are concluded, when we will know. There's a guy just told me, what am I doing there? And she started cussing me, she started cursing me about doing that on scunt. She's threatening me with a piece of wood. Welcome to Guyana. She looks serious as well. Like she's looking for a piece of wood to pick up and pelt me with. A guard employed at this site just picked up a brick to pelt me with for just standing here filming. God, I love Guyana, boy. Yeah, so we're spending the money for the people that are coming back, the comebackies as we call them. But Guyanese can't regularly get this sort of environment. So I'm waiting until all these celebrations are concluded to see if the maintenance schedule is in place, and if any of us can expect a wholesome environment in the future. After all this money has been wasted down here, let's go see what's going on here. Good afternoon, good afternoon. So here at the 1763 monument, and these gentlemen are about to restore coffee to its former glory by setting back up the pump and the waterfall feature. That hasn't been seen for some years now, and I'd like to know if they're... See the lady that tried to pelt me with the brick just now?
Yeah. Hello, why you pelting young people and all say you behaving bad? Don't behave bad, everything good. Right? You want to say something?
She seemed very eager to lash somebody with the baton.
She's guarding the port, you can't think.
Oh, she's guarding? Yeah, I see. Watching them, you gotta pick up brick and wood for lash people.
No,
I am not, you know, I'm not here as a, nobody's supposed to have to talk to her either. She's doing her job. Yeah, so tell me about this. What you guys have to do down here then to make this work again?
Not this working, you know, but we just can't be cleaning it up. It's working.
It working? Because I saw it working a few months ago.
Yeah, but it's working.
So how does it work? Where's the pump for it?
Everything there, but just when we got to clean it up now. We get a little mass and thing by water keep falling.
Yeah.
You're going to develop a mass
so
after.
So what about these lights here? Any of these?
Everything is working just now.
So you putting the lights back in?
Yeah, man.
Next time you come back here, they have lights in it?
When you come back, you're going to take out a different scene.
And there's the crew going to be responsible for restoring the, right, for the 1763. So if you see any of these people, you know these are the guys that help bring coffee back to life.
Right.
Is coffee only standing up there waiting for years for their salvation?
Yeah, buddy.
Alright, so what time I should pass back here?
Pass back about 4 o'clock time.
4 o'clock time?
You're taking out different scenery. But I'm glad you catch it out with your head. So when you catch it out, when walking out, you get it full, you know?
Yeah.
This is the legacy for 50 years after the independence.
Yes,
we create Meadowbrook. This Fat Boy, we create this. This is Meadowbrook legacy for Fat Boy generation for the independence.
And you happy with things, how things going?
Yeah, we going with it, you know, but we gotta accept the game because it's political infrastructure and the rudeness of the masses.
I know you think we can live Guyana for the next 50 years. What's the
next 50 years is a discussion beyond intelligence of my madness. I don't know where they're going to be. But I do hope this generation accept the philosophy, the sacrifice that we all dwell among. And it's going to be a beaten nation over with this coolie band and black band and thing. With Guyanese, we stand in the flag universally. You understand me? This is not nothing but it's changing on who he is and who he is not. I am not a black banner you're seeing here.